Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video on the channel here. Now in today's video, guys, I'm going to be showing you a really good and frustrating man coverage defense that you guys can run in Madden 21. This is going to be out of the resurgent big dime 1-4-6 formation. That is very good news for some people, and it's going to be very bad news for others. But we're going to be covering today the play cover one robber. I'm going to show you guys how to set it up based on your team, how you play, that kind of thing. I'm going to be showing you guys how to set this play up, and I'm going to give you a couple different setups you guys can run based on some of the different formations you might face in Madden 21 online. Now, before we get in the video, guys, Twitter, Discord, sign up for Discord, all down below, as well as my website. If you guys want to check out my two most recent videos, they are going to be in the top right of the screen right now. And if you guys want to join the channel, it's $5 a month. You get full access to written out Madden guides. You get shout outs in my videos as well as early previews in my videos. Now, shout outs today gotta go to Nola, G, and Crystal for buying my Nickel 335 ebook. Really appreciate you guys for that. But anyway, guys, it's gonna do it. But let's go ahead now. Let's move into the pre-play adjustments for this play.
Yes, out of eyes trying to put me on a t-shirt. Shorty want me so bad, do your knees hurt? Yeah, I'm counting paper guap in my beam.
Alright guys, so here we go. We're going to get into first the pre-play adjustments for this play. Now, what you're going to want to do here is for coaching adjustments, you want to make sure that auto flip is off. Your ball and your defense is on play ball. Your ball, I think it's option defense, is on conservative, and then your flats for zone drops are on 5 yards, and curl flats are on 20 yards. That's when you want to make sure is your pre-play, kind of your coaching adjustments. But now we're going to move into substitutions. Really simple here. You just want to make sure that you have your best defensive lineman on the field. And then you also want to make sure that at linebacker, you have safety subbed in. And I have Jesse Beatz right here. He has superstar ability. Really, really good player. And then we also have Henderson right here at this left linebacker spot. So you just want to make sure those guys are subbed in. And then just make sure that you have decent safeties that can play some zone coverage and maybe some man if you need them to. But that's honestly pretty much it. But now, guys, I'm going to cover the play big dime 1-4-6, and we're going to go up against some of the most popular formations in Madden 21 today. Alright guys, so here we go. We're first going to be covering this play. I'm going to be going over the setup, and then we're going to be running this here against Gun Trips tight end. I'm going to show you how to run this. Now, we are coming out in PA counter go, by the way, not making any offensive adjustments whatsoever. But what we're going to do, guys, the first adjustment you're going to make with this defense is you're going to press the defense, which is going to be Y and down the left stick. So you're going to see your cornerbacks are going to come down, and your safeties are going to come down a little bit. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to share our defense over the top, which is going to be Y and up on the right stick. This is basically going to make sure that the players that are in man coverage do not get beat as easily on like streak routes and also the post routes, those sort of things. They basically don't get beat as easily on those routes. And then the next thing we're going to do, guys, is we're going to throw this right side safety. This is against Gun Trip set M. We're going to throw him into a curl flat zone. Now, how to do that? You're going to double tap Y for the individual defensive back adjustments. You're going to press the A button for that strong safety, and we're going to flick the left stick to the right for a curl flat. Now, you see he's in a curl flat. Now, he's going to be about 20 yards. He's going to go out 20 yards, so I believe he'll go up to the 40, 45. Or actually, no, I'll go to the 45, 30 yard line, and that'll do pretty good in terms of covering the crossing routes on the field. Now, the next thing we're going to do, guys, is right now I'm using the Bengals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a defensive lineman into a hard flat. So I'm going to double tap the left D-pad, press X, and I'm going to flick the left stick to the left. Now, if you guys are using a good man coverage team like the New England Patriots and online regs, or if you guys are using abilities and MUT on your defensive backs, you could be easily just throw this player right here, this right side safety or left side safety. You could throw him into like a hook curl zone, for example. You could do that. However, that is a very risky move if you're using a team like the Bengals, or if you don't have any abilities on your defensive backs and MUT. So personally, I'm going to keep this safety in that inside third zone. But how you would do like a hook curl, you just double tap Y, you press the safety icon, which is RB, and then flick the left stick down. But pretty much here, this is the setup. What you're really going to want to cover here is going to be the middle area of the field. You're going to want to really cover that with your user, and that's pretty much it. So let's just go ahead, let's just run this play now. You see we're going to hike the ball, we're trying to cover here. You see the middle is covered, and you know the coverage is pretty locked down. We're going to throw the ball away right here, and then we are going to break down what we saw on this play and how it did. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause the game. We're going to go into instant replay, and you're going to see right here, first of all, we're going to see the tight end. He does have that curl flat out there. Now, he is playing a bit shallower than he usually does, but you see the man coverage, you know, did a pretty solid job right there. Now, that is a cornerback, so, you know, obviously man coverage is a bit iffy if you're using a, you know, lower overall team in regs. But if you're using guys with high man coverage, that should be good enough for you. Next here, we're going to cover the B receiver who's on the crossing route. You see that the man coverage holds up pretty well right here, and he overall does a very, very good job. And then you would have that curl flat there as well covering that. Next, we're going to break down here. We have this out route by Rashard Higgins. You see that it is a little bit open, but this hard flat is covering it a little bit. So, I mean, it's really, I mean, what can you expect from man coverage with the Bengals? But you see we're doing a solid job, and then Odell Beckham really does not have the streak right here. So, overall, that's how we did against Gun Bunch tight end. But now, guys, we're going to move on, or Gun Trips tight end. But now, guys, we're going to move on to this defense against Gun Trips tight end. All right, guys, so here we go. This is going to be how to defend Gun Bunch tight end out of this defense. Now, the setup here that I would usually run, I'm going to press my defense. I'm going to shade over the top. I'm going to throw this right side player here into a curl flat zone, and then I'm going to throw this player right here into a hard flat zone. So basically very similar to Gun Trips tight end. Maybe you could go and throw like a vertical hook out here if you need a little bit more coverage against like hitch routes. But overall, this is going to be a very, very good defense. Now, obviously, if you're running a better man coverage team or have abilities, you could just leave this guy in a blitz, and then you could throw this safety right here into like a curl flat, or you could throw him into a hook curl. To, you know, the curl flat would defend against like corner routes, and the hook curl will defend against like hitches and posts and that kind of stuff. But we're going to leave him in that inside third zone, and then we're going to throw this defensive lineman into a vertical hook zone. So, and you could also do a bluff blitz too. We're actually going to do a bluff blitz, which is going to be right on the right stick. But pretty much here, this is going to be the defense. What we're going to want to do is we're just going to want to cover. We're going to see about the receivers. So I'm running Piebu over. So we're going to run this. You're going to see run cover B, go up back to cover Y. Now, I might have, you know, committed a little pass interference on that play, but we're just going to throw this ball away, and we're going to break down how the defense did. And we're going to run this against two more offensive formations, Gun Bunch, and then we're going to finally run it against Gun Trey Y Flex. But here we go. This is the play. You're going to see, first of all, the drag by Odell Beckham. We do cover that, and then we eventually come back up. Now, yes, that was pass interference. That was bad on my part, but you're seeing right here that that's pretty much covered. The Y receiver next is pretty much covered as well. You know, we do a pretty good job of covering Jarvis Landry. And then lastly, this post route that's coming from the backside, you see that we have that deep zone out there as well as our cornerback to cover that. So overall, we did a very, very solid job with covering that. But now, guys, we're going to move on to how to defend Gun Bunch with this play. All right, guys, so here we go. We're defending against Gun Bunch. Now, what we're going to do in this situation is we're going to press our defense. We're going to shade over the top. We're going to throw, this time, the RB player. We're going to throw him into a hook curl zone. We're just going to be double tapping Y, pressing RB, and flicking the left stick down. The reason why is because if you're versing a Gun Bunch offense, it's not going to be utilizing a lot of crossing routes just like Gun Trips tight end or Gun Bunch tight end. So we'll play a hook curl down here to cover over the middle. Then what we're going to do is we are going to throw, actually, what you could do as well, you could just leave this safety right here in a 3-rec, which is what we're going to do. We're just going to throw this RB player. We're going to throw him in an inside third. So we're going to leave that 3-rec on the field, and then we're going to throw this X receiver into a vertical hook. So basically right here, this is the defense. Now what you're going to want to cover here is going to be the sidelines are going to be a very important place to cover, as well as on this side too. But this is the defense. All we did is we pressed the defense, we shaded over the top, and then we threw this player right here, this left side defensive lineman, in a vert hook. So we're just going to hike the ball. You're going to see we're just going to run this, and we're going to try to cover everything we can. You see that we're actually getting pressure. Now, unfortunately, we did get taken down a little bit there with our defensive linemen, so we're going to throw the ball away, and I'm going to be showing you guys how this defense did. So, first of all here, I'm going to highlight the tight end here. You see that the flat route was covered pretty well. Next, we're going to highlight the drag. You see with Jarvis Landry was covered pretty well, and then the vert hook ended up having a pretty big part in that. And we did a very, very nice job of covering that. Next thing here, you see the corner route is covered decently well right here by Trey Waynes, best of his ability. And then finally, we have Odell Beckham Jr. He is covered right here by this cornerback. So overall, very, very good job. But now, guys, we're going to move on to the final play, which is going to be Gun Trey Y Flex. All right, guys, so here we go. We're running Gun Trey Y Flex right here. Now, how we're going to defend this is we are going to press our defense. We're going to shade over the top. we are going to throw this player right here, the A safety. We're going to put him in a curl flat. And then we're going to throw this left side defensive lineman into a vert hook. That's just an optional adjustment you can make to your defense. We'll just run it with no zone right here. So we're rushing 3 people. We have a curl flat on this right side, and we also have that deep zone covering the middle just in case if one of our guys gets beat. Now, pretty much right here, once again, just cover any of the routes that you see that might be open. You want to cover them and then come down and cover other routes. So here we go. We're going to hike the ball. You're going to see we're going to cover the A receiver. B receiver's pretty covered pretty well right here, and we end up actually getting a sack. So we're just going to throw the ball away really quick. And now what we're going to do is we're going to break down what we saw out of the play, and then that'll be the end of the video. So we're going to see right here, I ran verticals, by the way, out of the gun Trey white flex. So first of all here, we're going to be covering the tight end. He's on that little drag route. You see that it was covered pretty well by the man coverage. And then next here, you see Odell Beckham Jr. He was covered pretty well by this player here in man coverage, so not too bad. Then we have this seam route that was covered pretty well with this corner on Jarvis Landry. And then finally, the streak was covered pretty well by Trey Waynes on Rashard Higgins. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash a like, smash 5 likes. And guys, take care. Most importantly, stay classy.